Hello students, this is Sagarika Mohanty. Welcome to Business Studies classes. Today we will discuss a new chapter. This is chapter 5, Emerging Modes of Business. So this is the topic is related to e-business. E-business stands for electronic business. It refers to conducting business activities over internet or any other computer network. So here the activities are done through the internet or any other computer network. So the benefit of the e-business are, first is ease of formation. To form a e-business is very easy as compared to set up the traditional industries. Next is lower investment requirement. To form a e-business, there is the investment is required low. Or we can say that the success of the e-business depends upon the network, that is contacts, not the net worth, that is net investment. And the next is convenience. Convenience means it can be easily accessed anytime, or we can say that it can be accessed in 24/7. The next is speed. The speed of the process of the buying and selling, because the information moves very fast through internet. And the next is global reach. The e-business allows the sellers operate their business in national level as well as the global level. So that means here the seller can operate their business in worldwide. Benefit is movement of the paperless society. Here all the activities are done in electronic form or online way. So that is, we can say that there is no need for any paper. So example of this related is to filing income tax, then we can file the income tax through online. So for this purpose we can say that e-business facilitates for the movement towards the paperless society. So this is all about the benefits relating to the e-business. Some limitations related to the e-business. So the first limitation is low personal touch. E-business lacks of personal touch with the customers as it is conducted over the internet. Next is concurrence between the order taking or giving an order fulfillment speed. Or we can say that there is, maybe in case there is delay in delivery. The next is need for technology capabilities and competency of parties to e-business. So here we can say that there is a digital divide can be happened. Digital divide means society of familiar or the society of the unfamiliar with the digital technology. Or we can say that the person who doesn't have the digital technology, then they cannot operate the e-business. The next is increased risk due to anonymity and untraceability of the parties. So here there is some of the risk related to the e-business, that is there may be in case of difficulties to establish the identity and locations, loss of privacy and leakage of confidential information, like there is in case of the risk related to the leakage of the information related to the credit cards, etc. The next limitations of e-business is people resistance. People have to be tendency to resist the changes as adjustment to new technology and new environment causes a sense of insecurity. We can say that the people have to be adjusted with the new technology and also adjusted to and adapt the new environment under the e-business. The next is ethical fallout. Ethical fallout means many firms uses the electronic eye to keep the track of the email account, computer, files, websites used by their employees. So this business lacks of ethics as it attacks on the privacy of the employees. So these are all related to the limitations of the e-business. The next topic is online transactions. So online transaction means transaction takes place between the buyer and seller through the internet. According to the point of view of the buyer, the online transactions consist of 3 stages. One is pre-purchase stage, second is purchase stage, and the third is delivery stage. So in the first stage is pre-purchase stage. In this stage, the buyer basically searches the relevant website to evaluate the required product. So here the buyer searches the relevant website through which you want to or she want to buy the product. Next is purchase stage. In purchase stage, the buyer select the required product, negotiate the price and final the deal and then payment. The next is delivery stage. In delivery stage, the product is delivered to the buyer after the seller receives the payment. So online transaction consists of these three stages. Next we discuss the online trading process. So first is registration. Here the buyer log in itself to the relevant website where he or she wants to buy the product. So here login is related to putting their information relating to the name, locations, etc. The next is placing order. Placing order means we can say that there is a buyer select the relevant product where the buyer want to purchase. The next is payment mechanism. Here the online payment can be done through different ways. It may be through cash on delivery, or it may be through check, or maybe through net banking transfer, or maybe through credit card or debit card, or maybe through digital cash. So this is related to the process of online transactions. Next topic is security problem or risk in e-business. So first risk is transactional risk. Transactional risk is related to the default on the order taking or order giving, default on delivery of the product, default on the payment of the product. And next is data storage and transmission risk. It involves virus problem, that is vital information under siege, or there may be issue related to the hacking, or there may be threat of the intellectual property and the privacy risk. Here the sensitive information of the buyer can be leaked. So these are related to the securities problem, or we can say that a risk in the e-business. The next topic is resources required for the successful e-business implementations. So the first resources is well-designed website. Here the firm fill up all the details about the firm's product and their services. Next is adequate computer hardware. Here the hardware is related to the processor, speed, memory, etc. to carry the expected volume of the business. Next is technical qualified manpower. Here the firm recruit all the qualified manpower who have a knowledge about the digital technology. The next is effective telecommunication facilities, and the last is system of receiving payment. Here the firm adequate arrangement with the banks or other agency for receiving the payment. So this is related to the resources required for the successful implementation of the e-business. Our next topic is scope of e-business. So there has four categories. One is B2B, B2C, C2C and intra-B commerce. So B2B commerce means there B stands for business. So there is business to business commerce. So here basically transactions taking place between the business firms. For example, automobile sectors with manufacturing companies. Next is B2C commerce. B2C means business to C for customer. So here the business directly contact with the customer or directly sell their product and services to the customer. So there is the transaction between the business and customer. Example, Amazon, Flipkart, etc. where the customers are directly related to the business. The next is C2C commerce, that means there is customers to customers commerce. So here there is the transaction taken place between the customers to customer. Example is Quikr, OLX, etc. Here the customers are selling their product to the customers directly through the website, that is your Quikr or OLX. The next is intra-B commerce. Here the interaction and dealing among the various departments and persons within the firm. So example is marketing department may interact regularly with the other department product made on the as per the requirement of the customers. So these are the basically scopes related to the e-business. These are all about our today's lessons. Hope you guys understand this chapter. Thank you for watching me.